Okay, what is up, everybody? It's your boy Virus, and as promised, your 2K12 Association is here, as I said I was gonna do. So, you already know what team I was picking, and I was just looking at the roster to see what people were good at, and see what kind of moves we're gonna make. So we're gonna make it, I think, 58 games. I think this is the thing, 58 games. We're not gonna make it 82 because, I mean, for damn sure, we're not gonna. I'm not gonna have 82 videos. That's a lot of fucking videos. So we're gonna have 82 games. I'm probably not gonna play all of them. I'm gonna play most of them. I'm gonna record probably all of them that I play, and just post the most exciting ones. So, 58 games. We're gonna turn player rules off just because you know how people get mad. It's really stupid. But I'm just glad they had the option to turn it off. So it's pretty obvious what team I'm gonna pick, as I've been talking about it. It's no surprise or anything. So we're gonna pick the Pistons just because they're like my third favorite team in the league. I really liked the Pistons when they were dominant with Ben Wallace, Rasheed Wallace, Chauncey Billups, and what's his name, Tayshaun Prince, and Richard Hamilton. I really liked them back then. So we're gonna hire the scouts so they can do the auto scouting, so they can scout the prospects. I always do this first when I first start association because I don't like to take my time just to scout the prospects. You just turn the auto scouting on, and then by the time it's the end of the season, they'll scout every player. So this video doesn't have any games in it. So first thing I'm going to do is trade Damian Wilkins to Toronto for Gary Forbes, which is pretty much a steal. And we're going to change the rotations a little bit. As you see, it's just speeded up just because it was just a lot of stuff. And I tried to trade Charlie V, but there was no really interesting trades just because he has a pretty big contract as a pretty bad player. And he's not really, he's 27 with an A- potential. So, after you get 30, you don't have potential anymore in this game, I think. So once you hit 30, pretty much you start, falling off, kind of, you become more of a role player than a starter, unless your game is just based on just shooting. So right here, I was trying to send Jonas Jerebko to the D-League, so I'm going to sign a couple players. I think the first player I signed is, I wanted to sign Tariq White, but I was like, they cut him in real life, so that would be kind of not really unfair, but unrealistic. But I'm signing the 7'4" center who is in the game. It's been in almost all the 2Ks that you've been able to do the D-League, and a lot of you guys are probably like, oh, that's just fake, you create that player. Well, if you don't believe me, you can go ahead and look. There's also two other players that I really like that I usually sign if I need a point guard, small forward. The point guard is Anthony Riley, and the small forward is Doug Martin. I like those players, so I sent Jonas Jerebko to the D-League. I think I do have Drew Cook, but I think I sent him down to the D-League too. As you see me send Austin Day to the D-League. I sent Drew Cook down to the D-League after the second game, and I called up Austin Day from the D-League because I think I need some more depth. I didn't really need any big men. I just need some more forwards. So I'm just fixing the rotations as we're going to start Brandon Knight, Rodney Stuckey, Tayshaun Prince, and Jason Maxiell and Greg Monroe. And I did make another trade after my first game, which I will show in the next video. It's it's not a pretty big trade, but right here we're gonna use our development points. I think first I did Brandon Knight. I'm not sure. No, I think it was Greg Monroe. I think the first one was Greg Monroe just to improve, to give him a better mid-range shot, because you see his mid-range is like a 42, so a big man with a deadly mid-range is pretty good. So I couldn't turn on the jump shot feedback in this, but it really didn't matter to me. So because I pretty much know everybody's shot on Detroit, because I use them sometimes online. I've used them before. So, and I'm accustomed to use the thing on the bottom. When you release, the little light peers up. Just accustomed to that. A lot of people complain about, oh, you don't have jump shot feedback online when you play other people. Well, I don't really. To me, it's not that big of a deal because I'm able to use the light thing, and it's just kind of a challenge if you don't have the jump shot feedback, and you don't really need. Well, in my eyes, you don't really need the jump shot feedback unless you have somebody that has a tricky shot like Charlie V's. Before I changed it, I did change Charlie V's jump shot because it's really weird and nobody shoots like that. Unless you have a dude with a really weird jump shot on your team, you really don't need the shot feedback because you just need the. It's just like you should know when to release it because when it gets to the top of the release, you should know. And what I've seen that they have done in 2K12 is try to give everybody the same release point pretty much. Most of the players have the same release point, but it just looks different. And unless you have like a Ray Allen shot who's quicker, Kevin Martin who's a little bit trickier. It's just most people have the same release point, but some have. If you have a quick shot, definitely you're gonna have a quicker release point. If you have a longer, if you I don't know how to say it, like hold the ball and then shoot, then you're gonna have a longer one, just a longer release point. But so the second one I'm gonna do fast break with Rodney Stuckey because I want to improve his shot in traffic, just because I want him to be the guy, my two guard, kind of like a D Wade. I want to build him into a D Wade. I mean, I think when he got drafted, he was kind of projected to be a D Wade because he's 6'5". He's a very athletic two guard or a guard in general. He played point just like D Wade did when he got drafted, I'm pretty sure. And he's very athletic. He can play defense. He dunks on people. He has a very nice layup and just pretty much like a D Wade. And I think that was Brendan Knight that dunked on Tyshawn Prince. But just like a D Wade when he first entered the league. But as we all know, Rodney Stuckey's like his third year in, and he's nowhere close what D Wade was in his third year. I think D Wade, he won his a title in his third year. I'm not sure. I don't know when D Wade won his title. I think it was first or second year. It might, but I might be wrong. All I know for sure he's won a title already before LeBron and Carmelo and all these other guys that came into the league at the same time, and was pretty much one of the best drives in NBA history. But having a pretty good start to this fast break drill. Kind of failed on that 3-on-1, but it's all good. I just gave it up to Tyshawn Prince just because he's like almost 6'11". And usually he would dunk on somebody, but it's kind of like a slow start. But you don't really need that many points. You only need 720. It's right here. I do play pretty good defense, but he's still able to make the layup. And I am going to have Ben Gordon come off the bench. I know he's making a lot of money to come off the bench. See, they made all 3 shots against me. But I am going to have Ben Gordon come off the bench. I think I might have him start mid-season. I don't know. I don't know how I'm going to work it out. Or I might even trade him. I don't know. I think, well, I'm not going to give it away. I know I traded some people already, but I don't know who I traded. I forgot, really. But let's just say I traded for a Pacers player because, I needed another player. But, see, Tyshawn Prince going to hit that corner jumper. And we've already got the required score. And I think they take all points if you don't, as you see the team score in the bottom right, if you don't beat them in team score. So I was just trying to make sure that they didn't catch up. But the next drill, I'm pretty sure is with, it might be with Brendan Knight. No, it's with Tayshawn. What I was trying to do with Tayshawn was, I'm trying to make Tayshawn to the 3-point shooter at that corner, jumper with the 3, which he pretty much is already developed into. But since he's getting older, I just want him to be that 3-point specialist. But I mean, it worked out pretty well. As you see, I get a pretty nice pass to Tayshawn with the easy dunk. So with this team, we're gonna have a lot of struggles because we have Greg Monroe, who's a developing big man. But really behind him, we only have Jason Maxey, who's a beast on this game because he's very athletic. And he's pretty much like, he gives 100% hustle in this game, and he doesn't realize. And I throw that sexy oop to Tayshawn. We don't really have anybody behind, our big man. We had Charlie V, and that's pretty much it. And Ben Wallace, who's defensive, but it's not going to give us any type of offense. You see, I blocked that shot. I tried to block the next one, but I don't think that counted anyways. But Ben Wallace is going to give us a lot of defense, and that's pretty much it. So, I mean, every now and then he'll get like an easy dunk, maybe, but he's not. Well, he might hit a mid-range jumper every now and then, but that's gonna be very rare. See, right there, the dude's is going to dunk on me. But the next game, well, not the next game, but the next drill is with Tayshaun. And I mean, Tayshaun's a great player, but he's getting kind of old. I thought about trading him, but I just couldn't trade him. After the Pistons resigned him, and he just wants to stay in Detroit, which is very dedicational, if that's a word. Because if I was him, I would have left. I mean, he could have gone to so many teams. He could have probably gone to a contender, place like maybe OKC, where they need a backup small forward, where because Tabo is not there anymore, or he could have gone anywhere he wanted to, most likely. That because a lot of teams need forwards, especially tall forwards like Tayshaun, who can hit the open jumper and play a lot of defense and bring experience and skill to the team like he would, because he's a vet and he's pretty much a coach out there for young guys. And that's what the Pistons in real life are expecting Tayshaun to do, to help Brendan Knight become a very good defensive player, because we all know when Tayshaun was younger, he was one of the best shot blockers at the forward spot. So hopefully he'll teach Brendan Knight and make him become a better player, who Tayshaun has fallen off just because he's had a lot of back injuries. And back injuries have to be the worst, and ankle injuries, but back injuries have to be probably one of the worst, just because when you shoot, you don't have the same flow, and when you try to jump, you don't have the same flow. Just like when you have the ankle injury, your jump shot's kind of messed up, and when you have a bad back, you just don't have the same jump shot with the messed up ankles and knees, which a lot of NBA players go through. So those have to be like the biggest, 3 injuries, is with knees, ankles, and the back problems, just because they mess up your jump shot, and you can't, you're not gonna be able to jump that high with a bad ankle, with a bad knee, or a bad back. It's gonna be very difficult. It's gonna be a lot of pain. That's what Tayshaun's been suffering through. But this commentary is coming to a wrap already. But if you have not seen the video on Legitimate Gamers, please go watch it, because we need as much views as possible. And we have a new series on Legitimate Gamers. And message me if you want to become a moderator on Legitimate Gamers, because we need more moderators. We're always looking for more. But this commentary is coming to a wrap. So I will see you guys later, and peace.